Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Babin with Art Legal LLC, and today we're doing sort of an artist talk, but with someone different. So instead of an artist, we're with Zhang, and he is the co-founder and CEO of Planet XR, which is a really interesting tech startup that involves a lot of artists and kind of new technology.
Started my career as a product designer, and then I'm now actually working as a product manager at Planet XR. And then I met Kim. We're working together at this company. Planet XR is an AR platform, so it's a creation platform. We actually uses a very special technology called visual positioning system that actually creates a persistent layer on top of real world, so pinned into a specific location. To make it simpler, it's basically, basically returning, the city into a living canvas. It's no longer a collection of building and street. It's a playground, where artists can unleash their imagination, bring their creativity, their models, their artwork into the real world. And then they're able to express themselves freely, and people can interacting with the AR digital contents in the real environment.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great way of explaining it. I love that you say like a living digital canvas. For people that don't know, though, can you explain just a little bit about what we're actually going to see on this app?
Mm-hmm. Augmented reality is a way that you're able to see things, it's you're actually able to see the physical environment, the actual environment, but using AR to augment it, you're maybe adding more information, maybe adding virtual content, and to make your world looks better or more have more information.
Yeah. So how can an artist or somebody that's using the app actually view the artwork? Do they have to have like some sort of device like goggles or iPhone?
If you want access to all our AR contents in Planet XR, you just need to download a mobile app, and you walk around the street, you're able to see multiple content that are pinned to that street or that building. And yeah, that's how you're able to use it. But we're planning to developing an AR glasses version that are going to coming soon. Yes, like right now this has become a creation platform for a lot of artists. But at the very start, at the beginning, when we created Planet XR, it's more of a social focusing platform. So we have this AR message as a way to live comment any places. So, empower people to express themselves, freely. You can literally like adding a virtual soft bubble above your head when you add any environment, right? If you're in an art museum, you can share your feeling about a piece of artwork. You can share a review about a restaurant. And then that message can be viewed by multiple people. So other people can read your mind in a way. And you can use it in multiple places, public area, tourist spots, or schools. It's a very easy way for people to engage in this kind of AR world. And then since we're talking with a lot of artists, digital artists and public artists, and we realize there's a lot of problem that currently they encounter every single day. So that's why we want to address some of the problem. So this Planet XR become a creation metaverse platform.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what attracted me to the company, as I saw some of the different posts on your Instagram and things like that. And one of them is and incorporated into the art exhibition. There's different AR aspects, and then also the AR message, like you were saying, where people can leave this AR message. It's digital, anybody can see it with their phone and interact with each other. Something else I really like that you said is that this is really started as a social platform. It still is. It's a social platform for artists and the public to interact. And it really, is about that freedom of expression. So we've dealt with, a lot of different artists, and I think some of them had different challenges that this was acting as a solution to you. I know earlier today we were just in a meeting talking about public arts with an institution that saw a lot of potential uses for this app as well. So what have you seen that's really been like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great for people to communicate, to get their art out there? What kind of problems and solutions are you seeing?
Right now, for public artists, they are actually facing a lot of challenge in the past, again, and right now, any cities basically require you to submit a proposal to getting approval to using the land, using the space, and that usually, takes somewhere between 6 months to years. For permanent artwork, the entire process of getting something submitted and then to getting actual constructed, it took about 5 years, 4 to 6 years. It's a very, very long process for a lot of artists. A lot of artists just want to get their artwork to the display and showcase to anyone, and then the message they wanted to communicate, right? But right now the process is just getting very, very long. So this kind of a platform really enables public artists to think about a brand new way that they can use to replacing and actually enhancing their public artwork. Right now, they don't need to learn any, coding. It's no code platform, so they can just drag and drop and placing their artwork anywhere they want, whether it's indoor public arts or outdoor public arts. That artwork can be persistent. So, you don't need to actually keep a QR code or anything. It's going to automatically recognize that space, and it doesn't actually cost anything from the public art side. We also talk with a lot of digital artists as well, and a lot of NFT artists. They're looking for like new way to displaying their artwork. A lot of frustration, came from if you have a 3D model NFT, and usually they're getting displayed in a monitor, art gallery or something. But now you're able to put your digital NFTs in your living room or keep it somewhere. And this is going to be a great way to helping digital artists to displaying their artwork in AR.
Yeah, I love that. As a curator and art advisor, that's one of the most common problems like I hear about with NFTs is, hey, we have them, but we want to be able to show them in new and different ways. So this is, I think, one of the coolest ways you can show it, where it doesn't have to be like on a monitor or something you have to pull up. It's literally like there, and you can kind of interact with it, and it's involved in the space. So I think it's an awesome way and an awesome use for NFTs and the other digital art that we've talked about too, all of the different 3D modeling. Like that's something I'm seeing in fashion a lot right now is like the AR capabilities. So I think that this is just like, really great for artists in the art world as well. One of the cool things we heard earlier today was like the concept of like graffiti as well, and doing, graffiti art. It's a way of that like public expression, right?
I think the key of geospatial AR is the ability to express themselves, to tell the untold story, but in a way that is not restricted, and is also not actually damaging the environment or harming the city. And we actually, seeing a lot of people like graffiti artists love this type of idea, since this is giving them a new, a new opportunity, to make their artwork, displaying in more places and easier, and also a safer method of doing graffitis. And also like this type of things, also really resonate, with a lot of artists, like First Nation artists, right? Like there are a lot of their cultures is associated with that, certain river or mountains or certain land. And with geospatial AR, they're just able to share all their culture and their history, stories, what's the role, was individual artwork displaying at individual site. And this is really something they felt like it's a really it's like their power in their hand. They don't have to request any permissions anymore. They a lot of them, artists telling me, oh, I dream about building this type of application, for years, and it's just very challenging and difficult to building this type of platform. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about this company so much. I also think that something they had touched on when we were talking to one of our other arts organization was they asked like, okay, but can this be curated? Can we have our own individual like selection of art? And I think the solution you had talked about for that is that there's kind of a capability of like channels. Is that right?
Right. This is going to be a upcoming features in our roadmap. We are actually thinking about to make it more like an AR version of TikTok, right? An AR version of Instagram that you do own your own channel. We call it Map Planet. So that's a special page that displays all your artworks in a single map. So any of your followers can actually follow you, and any viewers can actually follow you and keep getting the latest update, your latest artwork getting displayed. Right now, there are like platform, like Instagram or YouTube, but there's no specific artwork that focus on doing AR arts. And this is going to be a great way to getting connected with the viewer and the artist. And artists can, feel free to sharing their artwork with their audience in Planet XR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's kind of interesting that this is going to be something that's useful both to artists and then the organizations. Like this is something unique because it can be used outdoors or inside like an art gallery.
Mm-hmm. That's true. A lot of platform that you think before, either they work indoors or they only working outdoors. Because it's quite challenging to do geospatial and positioning in indoor environments. But we actually is the only platform that able to have both features, both the scenario you're able to use this platform easily. Our company has been building product to helping our artists, but none of those are, I would say, considered as easy to use or simple, like platform like Snapchat or Spark AR. They do require you to install specific PC or Mac application studios to able to creating any AR experience. There are also other platforms that utilizing like image tracking, so it's track a specific image, but that also requires you go onto their website. But for us, everything is going to be on device. So you can do everything on your mobile, whatever you want to place, whether that's a mural, whether that's a 3D model or message. You create a, on the go, if you on the road, you think this place is wonderful, you have something to express, you have something to show, you can create it right away. This is, never heard of like in any of other AR application. And this is very simple, easy to use. You click a plus button, you select anything in the model library, or you create a new message, just like a Twitter, sending a Twitter or sending Instagram. You have this AR model and AR messages displayed in AR in under a minute, and you can release it, and that's going to be public available for anyone who went to that same site.
Yeah, I think the ease of use also has kind of attracted a lot of younger generational users as well. It's almost like has that playful game aspect to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do see our platform has a lot of younger users using it, and especially we actually even have a presentation on one of the high school, and then all the students love about it, teachers love about it. There's some of the educational aspect in there, and then people play around with and making fun of each other using AR or the teacher. And yeah, this is definitely something we never didn't expect. But yes, this is something that students and teenagers and younger users love about this type of idea. And also this is a great way to attracting younger audience. So if you have businesses or art gallery, AR is always something that younger audience love. And just by seeing, there's tremendous trend, among using the AR filters and AR shoppings. Yeah, and AR is going to be a major part, I think, for the next few years.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of parents kind of avoid going into certain like art institutions and galleries with young children because you have so many concerns as a parent, and are they going to be interested in this? You're worried about them running over and breaking it, something like that. So I think that this is a really cool way to be able to introduce young children to art as well, and kind of a fun format for them, for sure. So another question for you is just kind of off the subject of artists, but for you personally, I'm kind of wondering, how do you see this like fit in right now in the art world? We see a lot of different things from not just augmented reality, but we see a lot of conversation about AI and NFTs and Web3 and the Metaverse. So do you see this as equally as controversial? Do you see it as something that's going to stay as a lasting thing? How does it tie into all of that that's going on?
I would say AR is a little bit different. There isn't like one thing going to be replacing another, like Web3. I would say it's kind of like a combination. It's really there's all sorts of technology. It's about like whether your product want to integrating or uses this type of things. The reason we wanted building like AR platform is we saw there's a tremendous potential, and this is definitely going to be a revolution technology that's going to replacing your mobile phones and replacing your laptop as well. And 5 years ago, all those AR headsets costs about $3,000, $4,000. But right now, a consumer AR glasses only costs about $500 and $600. In 2022, there's 20 new AR glasses came out last year. And there's going to be more came out this year. And this is going to become something that eventually, everyone can wear AR glasses in some form. And all those AR contents, it's going to be part of your life. Any, digital content in your house or on the street will all be very visible for everyone, right? And you're gonna see like a new city or digital and virtual, digital and physical environment merged city. Yeah, that's what we see. In 10 years, what's going to happen like in the city development and then how people using the technology. To answer your question about AI and Web3, we do see a lot of potential in a lot of AI technology as well as the Web3. So for AI, we actually are experimenting with a lot of generative AI technology and tools to just helping people who haven't had a lot of experience in 3D modeling, or then familiar or knows how to use 3D modeling software, because it does have a very hard learning curve. You got to learn it for a couple weeks and practice for a couple months. This is something we trying to use in generative AI to help casual users or regular people who have the ability to easily creating any 3D models. And that's in the pipeline. That's something we are working on. And in terms of Web3, something we, in particular, we're looking into art and NFT. We see there's a lot of potential, and we think there's a lot of things that we can integrating into our platform as well. The reason is, we do want helping artists to make a living and build their businesses on our platform. We do want them to able to make a revenue when they displaying their artwork. And there are going to be more news coming out from Planet XR. Stay tuned for those new updates for around those features.
Absolutely. And I think something that you're touching on is one of the biggest problems we've heard for artists is getting their artwork seen, getting it out there and being able to make a living from it. So this is a great solution where artists anywhere in the world can, have access, in a new way and be seen by new people. So I think it's a great solution for that. Something else we kind of, haven't really dove deep into before, but something I'm seeing in the arts, fashion, and luxury goods is sustainability and the movement towards this. So in a lot of ways, that could be a sort of solution for a lot of like natural resource saving and things like that as well, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. This is definitely very sustainable, to then, making any physical product. The good thing about AR is it doesn't really, cost anything other than electricity. And especially when you think about it, for a lot of situation that for any constructions, for art museum, when they before they displaying any artwork, they usually shipping multiple art piece, just to ensure that there's one good art piece can arrive into different countries, there's nothing goes wrong in the transportation. So usually that kind of costs a lot of money, like in terms of import and export as well as insurance. But all those things can be replaced with AR because you can preview all those the artwork, the look and feel, the material before you even have that model shipped to you. In the other side of things, we actually in the last month we actually developed a cool prototype that lets you preview on the future city skyline of New York using AR. In that sense, you can preview any houses going to build, what's the city going to look like, and all those things. If building and using, like for example, actual physical piece, it does whether it's plastic, it does affect the environment, and also it's a great tool for architect to previewing anything before anything to getting built, so they don't have to build it again and again to just check the result. Similar for like before, usually there's something pretty popular a few years ago called like 3D printing. A lot of people do that, and they print it once and print twice, and not good enough. They update it a little bit, but right now, if you're using AR, it's a wonderful replacement for 3D printing in a lot of ways. Some people just wanted to put it, the stuff on their desk, the actual model, right? But now you don't have to do a lot of printing, waiting for that to be printed out. You can just using AR to display it on your desk. It's definitely a space that potentially any curator able to use this for planning purposes. And we're actually seeing a lot of people, because this is a creation platform that easily accessible for anyone, right? Even there's, my cousin actually uses the software for weddings, to a lot of stuff,
Damn.
it's going to be very hard, like flowers and this and that. It's going to cost a lot of money, and then you got throw away right after the wedding. But now as they are, you're able to have anything you want. You want a horse, like you want anything from the animations, or like you have it like in AR. And I do think, like from another standpoint, just a lot of stuff like in the city, right? For example, like for businesses, they're putting out like posters, on their walls, on their windows. And for city, they put out, signs and, labels and instruction and this and that. And eventually all those things going to be replaced by the digital items. And think about it. If you wanted to, for example, that kiosk, machine for any Starbucks or any Burger King or something like that, you no longer need to actually have that physical machine sitting there, right? But you can have an AR version of it. You can ask you what you want to eat. You just click a button and the burger came out. Right? You can pay it. So in the future, there's a lot of things AR could have a lot of beneficial to everyone. But it will take a couple years to get the hardware ready, and then the software while providing this kind of capability for potentially doing anything. Some artists do have the concern about discoverability, right? How other people are able to see my content? If I'm placing somewhere here, and are people going to know I have something placed in a real environment? This is definitely going to be an issue that when everyone is using mobile phones. So some of our solutions we currently are working on is the map integration. So any artwork is going to be labeled on the map for you to discover. So you certainly know what is going to what kind of stuff it's at somewhere, able to follow the map and then get to that specific art piece. Another part we are currently working on is the push notification. So it's going to notify you, when there are some artworks that's nearby, or there's like new message, or there's no message, right? Like around you, you can actually leave a message or create something and become the first one to sort of conquer that area. We're trying to getting a little bit more gamification in the entire or the app, kind of like a weight, so you have more sense of a community in the platform. So it felt like not only you are contributing to the city, everyone else, who live in the same city are doing this kind of AR creations and decorations to help make the city a better place.
Yeah, I think there's so many different uses for that. And just earlier today, I heard about one of the major art fairs in the world. They had enabled not push notifications, but they worked with marketing. I think it was for maybe Uber. And whenever anybody booked a ride to the art fair, then it would kind of come up to promote the different artists. So I kind of see a use for something like that, where, if you're going to an art festival, maybe a can pop up and alert you to like this different artist artwork and help push sales for them and make it more accessible to patrons and collectors as well. So
yeah,
all kinds of
actually there's a lot of interest in from festivals and or different kind of events. Already been reached out by a lot of different organizers, and they're really interested to have the Planet XR as part of their event and festival. We're going to be helping and empowering the European mural at Toronto in August this year. So it's an open air art events, and now they're going to have like the AR contents to be displayed in the entire street. Yeah.
so amazing. Is this same thing? I know you are saying that you have plans this year to be working with augmenting different murals as well.
That will be a request from a lot of community as well as the cities. A lot of government department, they actually wanted to have their existing mural to be enhanced. So people will understand the history, the background, and about a specific mural, right? We can add more audio to it. We can add in the artist profile, the artist information. or make the mural animated or adding 3D models that are coming out from the mural itself. So there's a lot of things we can help the city to work on those kind of projects.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing use. I hadn't really thought about that, but enhancing the existing public art is an incredible idea and might kind of, bring more interest for it in a sense. It's sort of preserving that artwork because it's, using technology to get a new audience interested in it and appreciating it as well. So very neat. Well, Jason, thank you. It was great talking to you. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to share with our viewers.
Please, follow our social media, which is Planet XR. I think we call Planet X AR on Twitter. So other than Twitter, everything everywhere else is called Planet XR. You can search it or anywhere, and you should be able to find our official account, and you can follow it. If you want to downloading Planet XR app, you can search it in the App Store. And then play around with yourself, and or share the app with anyone you think might be interested.
And if there's an artist who has, specific questions or some sort of gallery or anyone that wants to reach out with questions, how is it best for them to reach out?
Reach out on the website. We do have a contact us page. The second way will be the Discord channel. We have a community for artists. Whether you are a digital artist, public artist, or any artist who are just interested about our platform, already join our Discord channel. We have a lot of discussions about AR. We showcase a lot of work that anyone did around the world, and then you're able to check out their work in our Discord. And lastly will be our email.
And I can always put that in.
I can probably put that into the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty, I think, I don't remember the specific email address, but you can put it down below or as orally.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. So thank you so much. It was great talking with you and learning about Planet XR. So all right.